Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well. I apologize in advance for this super awkward video, but it is what it is. So I did this discussion on Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut. He has done a lot of work with improving the broken mental health system and with addiction, which I think is important because we all know these two things usually go hand in hand. He holds these roundtables with mental health professionals that Professor Cardos touched upon in her video. He's also done a lot to address the opioid epidemic in Connecticut. He has worked closely with doctors, police officers, families, and addiction specialists. So he takes kind of an interdisciplinary kind of approach. One piece of legislation that he is working on passing is the Opioid Crisis Reform Act. This bill would create a series of programs and requirements that relate to opioid use, including resources and programs to support pain management research, first responder training, treatment and recovery centers, campaigns for awareness, and controlled substance regulation. He's also working with a senator from West Virginia to introduce the Recovery Coach Act. This would basically develop and expand the use of recovery coaches in emergency departments, and it would support organizations that recruit, train, and supervise recovery coaches. Just to clarify, if you don't know what a recovery coach is, it's almost always someone who has first-hand experience with recovery from a substance use disorder, and they've completed recovery and training to help someone else who is struggling. He also states on his website that it's important to crack down on the drug companies and physicians who push unnecessary painkillers. The work that he's doing is important because the amount of people that suffer from addiction will likely only continue to rise. So we're going to need more resources to address the problem. I have no real experience working with recovery coaches or with anyone who's really, struggled with substance use. But I can only imagine how important a recovery coach would be in someone's recovery. So I think this is something that could be really beneficial for clients, not only in Connecticut, but across the country. I also think now, especially now in the time of COVID-19, this may be especially important because I worry that while we're socially distancing ourselves, people will be struggling with mental health, and people are struggling with mental health right now, which may lead into relapse for some people who don't know how to cope with the anxiety or with other feelings associated with being isolated. So I think when we return to normal, these resources might be needed at greater rates maybe than ever before. But I also like that he's trying to crack down on the big drug companies to kind of, I think, get to the real root of the problem, and to maybe start addressing it from the bottom up. So I think that all the work that he's doing is really important. But that's about it. I hope you guys don't mind the awkwardness, and I hope you have a great summer.